This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center for metro area locations. And this is the only show in the metro area that talks about business expansion, real estate construction. You could call it growth and development of your favorite city. And now, without any further ado, it's time to bring on my co-host, a man who is a legendary real estate deal maker and has been for 30 years, Trenton Magid.
Welcome to the other side, Jeff.
Welcome to the other side of what?
The year. So it's a fresh year. Happy New Year, everyone. And should we call this our anniversary show, or should we wait till next week?
Well, you're talking about as of January 10th, Grow Omaha will have been on the air for 20 years. Pretty impressive when you consider we first signed up for just 6 months of it back in January of 2004. And there are some of you out there who have been with us for all of those 20 years. Thank you for sticking with us. It's been a lot of fun doing this show for so long.
Over 1,000 shows, probably close to 1,100 shows already, and it's gone fast. And we haven't run out of things to talk about. We thank everyone, the national guests as well as many local guests, and our clients, and Mayor Stothert, the Chamber of Commerce, and it's been a fun run. And hopefully we'll have another 20.
Sounds good to me, and let's go into our news of the week. But before we do that, we want to let everyone know that it is going to be our call-in show. We do this periodically where we open up the phones and allow you to ask questions about anything related to Omaha growth and development, projects that you've noticed, things that you've always wondered about. And when we have our call-in show, we bring in a couple of experts. And with us today, we have Brad Williams from Brad Williams Photography and E&A Consulting. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Brad does all of our Grow Omaha construction videos, a lot of our Grow Omaha website stuff, photography for the show, and so many different things for Grow Omaha, and we appreciate that. And then, as we often do during these call-in shows, we're joined today by Jorge Sotolongo from NAI NP Dodge. Good morning, Jorge.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you back. Jorge is, in addition to being a commercial real estate broker, is also a member of the Omaha Planning Board, and you guys had a meeting this week, so I imagine we'll probably talk about some of those things.
Yeah, we sure did, and a lot of exciting stuff.
All right, so we are fully armed, Jeff, Trenton, Brad, and Jorge. The number to call is 402-558-1110, 402-558-1110. You can call at any time, but we're going to do our news first, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. They are in the mortgage brokerage business, which means they can get you set up with a variety of different banks. They are not beholden to one bank. They're mortgage brokers. And so basically they meet with the future home owner, the home buyer, and get to know that home buyer, find out what their situation is, what's unique about it, and then match them with the best lender in the best loan situation. Conventional, FHA, VA, they even do some other types of loans. But if you want to get a hold of them, you can stop by the office at 114th and Davenport, or go to eaglemortgagecompany.com. That's eaglemortgagecompany.com. All right, guys, on the news docket today, first of all, we have some signs of construction progress. The first one, Holland Performing Arts Center right next door is the Tenaska Center for Arts Engagement, under construction, over $100 million project. The steel has gone vertical. And whenever we see steel go vertical, fellows, that's when we know things are getting interesting.
We need a sound effect for that.
Okay, well, have you work on that.
Okay.
And next Saturday, Trenton will unveil the steel going vertical sound effect. Also, steel going vertical quite a bit further west than the Tenaska Center for Arts Engagement, and that's the Bankers Trust building at 192nd and West Dodge Road. Well, let's talk about a couple of specific projects. Within the last week and a half, we'll call it 10 days, a rather nondescript brown beige 3-story government building that kind of looked like it was out of Soviet Moscow, Cold War era. 48,000 square feet, came down at 7101 Mercy Road. And in its place will be a 4-story, 200-unit apartment building, along with a 5-level parking garage. Construction is scheduled to begin in March, with completion planned in September of 2025. And guys, this is significant because we're putting a lot of residential units on a place where it had been some underutilized office, but it's more development in that greater Exarban area, if you will.
It's interesting they're doing a 5-story parking garage. Those are expensive to build. I'm sure it'll be a great facility. I don't know if it'll be like a modern version of Swanson Towers at 84th and Dodge or something like that, because it's a neat location, good views, and I believe that was one of the 3 buildings. I don't even know if any exist anymore. One was where the Think was, this one, and there's one other that a developer by the name of John Madden, who was from Omaha, but then he moved to Denver early in his career. But he built 3 buildings there. Travelers owned them at one time. The one got torn down for Think. Is the third one still up? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. He was a hell of a sportscaster.
Yeah, but they were built probably in the 70s.
So, Brad, these types of apartment projects just keep coming and coming and coming. It's so common. They're those 4- and 5-story projects that are so popular right now, but they're a great example of infill.
Yeah, it's really almost, I think, every week on the newsletter or on our social media, we talk about a new apartment. Last week, we talked about the one downtown on 12th and Nicholas. And there's just, it's helping fill a demand for the housing that we need here in town.
Well, we have a severe housing shortage. There's no doubt about that because our population keeps growing. And we've talked many times over the last 20 years about how important it is for us to build up the city of Omaha because we're running out of land in Douglas County for the city to eventually develop and annex. And so really gratifying to see so many of these projects increase density in the area, and many, many more appear to be on the way.
And there's a national trend about vacant office buildings becoming multifamily, and it's an expensive proposition, especially the wider the building, sometimes the harder it is to convert. And so this made more sense to tear down, it's an older building, and to make a ground up apartment complex. They've looked at it with other buildings, and it's hard to do.
Well, Jorge, this week at the planning board, a lot of things came before you guys downtown, but there was something that jumped out at me, and that is plans for a big box retailer at about 182nd and West Maple Road. It's on the north side, immediately east of the very large St. Patrick's Catholic Church, which is under construction. And while this project was not identified in the official planning documents, there's some renderings floating around that say it's going to be a Sam's Club. But tell us a little bit about what's happening at 182nd and West Maple.
Yeah, so we had the developers in to discuss the project, and it seems to be moving forward. There's some coordination with neighbors and things that's taking place right now. But one thing that they mentioned that was pretty reassuring was that this tenant, whoever officially it is, we suspect it's Sam's. They want to move quick, and that's not been the case, I guess, in the last 12 months. But
they want to build this year?
They want to build in 2025.
Okay.
So, which I guess is quick for a
they got to
project
do all
like
the dirt
this.
work and everything.
Dirt work, of course. So
utilities.
A big motivation for this site was the Costco that's coming at 180th and Maple, and so I think that makes it pretty certain that you're going to see a Sam's Club or that type of store there. Speaking of multifamily, there is a multifamily component to this to the north on the same site plan that we saw. I don't know who's going to be developing that, but that's going to be market rate apartments right there as well. So it's going to be kind of a mixed use feel, which is, I think, pretty interesting if you consider what Sam's Clubs looks like on L Street, for example. This is going to be kind of cool to have a mix, I think.
Yeah, most of West Maple is in developers' hands now and has been for a long time.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of good plans there and a lot of good people in charge of it.
Everybody wants to know when the Fleet Farm is going to come in. And that's what is that at about 83rd or?
That's about that's closer to 181st, 182nd.
Exactly.
So it'd be south or just a little southeast of this future Sam's Club. But we've been talking about that Fleet Farm project there, and
years.
so far it doesn't appear that anything has budged there. I drove by that stretch 2 days ago, and it's still just grass and weeds.
They've
on
owned
that
it
lot.
for a long time. They also have a site at 192nd and Highway 370 west of that world's largest Hy-Vee.
I'm wondering if the Gretna location of Fleet Farm doesn't open before the Northwest Omaha location, which was announced earlier.
Can you imagine if all this happens? I mean, we're talking, what, 400,000 square feet of retail potentially on that corridor?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, especially when you think that we went through this phase of retail development in America where big boxes were out. I mean, you didn't see very many super Walmarts or super Targets developed anymore. A lot of the big box category killer retailers that were so popular in the 90s have kind of gone away. But here you've got a stretch of West Maple where Costco, Fleet Farm, and Sam's Club are both, or rather all three, under construction or about to start construction right now. Now that Sam's Club site, or what we suspect is Sam's Club on the north side of West Maple, that's raw. That ground's pretty raw. I drove by that just a day or two ago, and there's still a farm there, so there's going to be a lot of work to get that going. Whereas if you look at the Costco site, southeast corner of 180th and Maple, the walls have been going up. They've been under construction for a while there.
It needs a lot of dirt work. It needed a lot of dirt work, but they got to jump on it.
Absolutely. Well, we have another story I want to run by everyone today, and that is some controversy about a casino going into Bellevue. As we know, Warhorse Casino is under development at Horseman's Park, a little bit east of 72nd and Q, dude. And that's coming along, and it's only been within the last year or two that casino gambling has been legal in Nebraska. The first Nebraska-based casino opened southwest of Lincoln last year. Well, Bellevue wants to get into the act, and the problem is the system is set up that you can only have a casino where there's a horse racing track. And we have those existing ones in Omaha at Horseman's Park, even though they run a race 2 days a year or something.
Right. A lot of expense.
Kind of a joke. And then the South Sioux City, Columbus, Nebraska, Grand Island has the one that's part of the state fairgrounds.
Warhorse has Lincoln.
Yeah, which I think they created that horse racing track, I believe. I don't remember that. I don't think, was that there before?
I thought it was.
The racetrack has been there for a number of years. Once they closed the one at the old fairgrounds by the Devaney Center.
Oh, they moved it out there.
But for the first several years, it was a quarter horse track where it's more like a straight track, just a drag race basically down the front. Now they actually have a full circle track there.
Which the whole idea of quarter horse racing makes me laugh, because you always think of horse racing as like the thoroughbreds. I was telling Trenton yesterday, I wanted to start a barn mule racing track. It would be really cheap.
Armadillos,
and you could race it year round and not just have a couple days like the one in Omaha. Anyway, Bellevue wants to get in the act, but fellas, there's a problem. There's no horse racing or barn mule track in Bellevue yet, and so they would have to create this. And the state law, this new state law, says you can't open a casino in a place that would be detrimental to an existing casino. And apparently Warhorse, while not even open yet, is an existing casino. So we got a little bit of a battle here. The mayor of Bellevue is not so happy. He wants to have this casino in Bellevue so people can bring their oxygen tanks to that one. And apparently it's going to be combined with...
Jeff's a huge proponent of gambling, by the way.
All I know is if I ever want to feel depressed, if I ever be life is too good right now, I'm too happy, I want to get depressed, all I have to do is drive over to Council Bluffs and walk around one of those casinos, and it pretty much does it
Jeff
for me.
Jeff is channeling his inner held up.
I mean, it's just you ever notice you go to those places, no one looks happy.
This is a live look at the pro and anti-gambling lobby in Nebraska here.
And I may have done more field research than Jeff over at the Horseshoe. And
when I see you in a casino, you don't look so happy. Yeah. It's you see all these people miserable looks on their face, and they choose to be there. At any rate, if you're not happy, take your oxygen tank and go home. But at any rate...
did you have breakfast this morning, Jeff?
I did. La Peep. It was I ate breakfast with Brad. It was delicious.
Too much cough syrup, though.
So apparently in Bellevue, we want to have this with a water park. And the idea is to have it at the Highway 34, Highway 75 interchange in Bellevue. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? Is Bellevue going to pull this off?
Remember last time Bellevue wanted to have a water park behind a hotel, and it didn't work out too well? They built it and then they tore it down.
I do remember that.
Structure behind a hotel.
Yeah, I don't remember the details, but I do remember that.
I'm kind of confused by what the water park brings to the situation. Water park and horse racing. Is this where we're going with this?
And casino.
I mean, I'm just a little confused. But
You can play with the horses in the water.
Yeah, horse water therapy.
you know, okay, if Offutt ends up doing a new runway, just take the old one and do horse drag racing. That would be fascinating.
But with quarter horses and
quarter
not
horses.
thoroughbreds.
No. Let's bring back chariots.
And speaking
like
of quarter horses, the reason we keep saying this is that Bellevue says, well, it's fine to have our casino here because it'll be quarter horses instead of thoroughbreds. So I don't know what difference that makes. But
I've ridden plenty of quarter horses, and I don't see them racing. But
actually, you and I
It's not the same as a miniature horse, just FYI.
When Trenton and I were in high school and college, you guys had access to a property with quarter horses that you owned, and you were kind enough to let me go horseback riding, and you and I would race those things.
Yeah.
And but I'm not thinking we got quite as fast as the thoroughbreds.
Or a full quarter mile.
Yeah, we didn't go very far.
And just for the record, we're fans and proponents of Bellevue.
We love Bellevue.
And Rusty Hike and Jim Risto, and we want to see great things for Bellevue, and a lot of this is in jest.
Well, I would actually say that Bellevue is such a lovely town, it doesn't need a casino.
Yeah, I mean, I think you also look at it, there were a lot of proponents wanting to take Exarban and turn it into a giant casino, and thank God they didn't do that.
Thank God that didn't happen.
Led by Notto companies, look at what's happened over there, and that's wonderful. And then they're talking about putting it off, 34 and kind of I-29 there?
No, 34 and Highway 75.
Highway 75, okay.
Yeah, 29 would be in Iowa. So, and Iowa's got plenty of them existing. So we'll keep our eye on that. A little bit of controversy there, but it looks like we could get yet another casino in the metro area if the Bellevue interests are successful in pulling off that project. Well, that's our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. We're going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come back, we're going to answer calls from Randy and from Doug. So, fellas, stay on the line. If you want to join Randy and Doug, you can do that by calling 402-558-1110, 402-558-1110. Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, Brad Williams, Jorge Sotolongo. We're all here, and we'll be back after this on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
And was that the most off the rails in 20 years you guys have been?
I love dogging on casinos because that shit was funny. They're like so depressing. And we keep wanting to build more and more of these.
He was the only one there. They're not developing that. Maybe the land, but they're just selling the land.
I hate casinos. I just hate. I
don't know exactly.
And about twice a year I get dragged to one by
Walmart over there.
Like, oh.
Yeah, so usually maybe they're just doing the land.
This is beverages.
Yeah,
There's everything, Tom Anderson.
I will say that I like that bar that's on the top floor of the Harris Casino.
To that side.
Because I like sitting up there. It's got the cool view of all the Omaha lights at night.
He was there
So
kind
I
of
don't mind
frustrated
having a
because
drink up in that bar.
everything had gone really smoothly, and then they just neighbors decided to show up with their attorney Jim Lang and some other people. And,
Jim Lang?
Yeah, which Jim's great, but
15 years?
then they have a grandson who came down to Des Moines from Des Moines. He's a civil engineer. Then he had all these ideas about moving the roads and all these things, and it's
I don't think they know. Almost 15 years. We've never been there.
Jim's client is like
For me, part of the
40
problem too
acres.
is like
Do they not want to sell?
even as a little kid, like
That's what I'm. Yeah, they're.
I
I
would
think
rather
they're
do like something.
They're gonna
like an
have to.
active
They don't want to sell,
activity,
but they
like just
should
like
right
card
now.
games, board games, even video games.
the Resident
Are they around
So that's part of my
180th,
problem. I don't have any
180th?
games.
Yeah, so
I thought it was like Europe or
I
something.
hate
But I guess I
losing
look.
money.
it's.
And,
I think there's another. So actually no, they actually own. They own. Yep, they live there.
yeah,
And then next to them is
and then
just
the clientele
NRD.
is so depressing.
Oh, the client. So it's
it's
it's gonna go at some point. They just. I'm like, you guys got an interested party right now. Make it happen.
blowing it. It's
Like,
just
Tom
depressing.
and Scott are willing to buy the whole thing right now. but they've just been a little bit hesitant to do that. They should.
I think it's this year.
Either that or they're going to have to sell a piece to make sure.
What are they planning? What did you guys say?
We kept it going. We thought that that they had enough there to work it out, and we're going to keep the project moving. We don't want to lay over or anything.
Pretty big,
like
but
that.
it's not exactly what I thought it was.
Without the corner?
What direction?
The corner is.
I think it's east.
They don't.
Originally, it was going to be on the south end.
Here's the issue: is that the road to enter this Sam's Club development is squarely on the neighbor's property. It's not like where they typically are along, halfway along the lot line. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a good deal for all of us.
It's cool seeing the building mutual one.
Get together. I just think it's like, you're dealing with people in their 90s, they don't want to change
Have you
over.
noticed that?
Right. Oh, at the tower site?
Yeah.
That whole thing is really cool.
I think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like every time I think I know what's going on, they do something different. Like, what is it?
That's
I kept thinking, like, if you can go in there and just get the deal done for us.
Sorry about this, guys. I let you guys go through your first break, so I gotta get these spots to play.
Oh, that's okay. We always go a little long on our first break.
Oh.
We always go long on our first segment, and then our second and third segment.
We only had 2 breaks
I
last week.
thought it was me.
No, this is a little longer. Like I usually like to go to 20, and I ended up going to like about 23 or something like that. But
No, I don't feel so bad.
yeah, I don't feel bad. We'll take a couple quick calls, and we'll do the news, and then we'll squeeze it in. But yeah, because I followed the First National Tower construction very closely. It was so fun to watch that, and I keep comparing it to that. It's way different, way different. But yet they're almost the exact same height. But different techniques.
Well, the garage at the bottom, I think, is making it look different too.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting once they get up.
Who's going to drop out first, DeSantis or?
Whereas First National had their garage off to the side.
Well, it's under, right?
And there's part to the side. Like that to the west is the garage.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if those 200 apartments at, what is that?
71st and Mercy.
71st and Mercy. I wonder if you'll be able to enter the apartment building on every level of the parking
No,
garage.
third level. There's a skywalk that goes in.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's not attached?
But it's the garage, and then there's a sky bridge that goes from into the
Was
third
that in
level.
planning, or where'd you see that?
Went through planning last
You saw the plans?
last spring. I think
Quite a
it
while
was.
ago.
Yeah, last spring.
Good morning.
But
Last
then
fall.
the reason it's on in the news now is they tore down the building.
Correct. And what kind
The
of
plans went through you guys already, I think last spring, if I remember correctly.
What,
7101 Mercy?
Yes.
Why are there so many commercials in this break?
Yeah, changing clothes before you go to the game.
But then we're going here after, not hockey, but we're going to Baxter.
Whether you're
when
looking to impress
Does
clients,
that?
boost morale,
It's the
or
thing for
simply
West Side,
inject
so
some
I guess it'll
personality, we've got you
Okay.
covered. Check us
I'll
out
go ahead and
today
put you on hold, and we should be back in about
Last time
Your daughter's case?
she's starting a little bit.
All right.
We went to collegiate basketball, then you went to hockey. We had extra clothes in the car. We
Hey,
changed.
Michael? Are there 2 blocks of commercials in this for a second right now? It's going really long.
Yeah, because we went through the 15th, and right now this is the 28th. So I'm about to do the weather, and then we'll be getting you guys back on.
So then we'll only do 2 more blocks then? Because we basically combined 2 commercials worth in this?
Yeah, your next break is at 45.
Oh, okay.
So you got plenty of time to talk.
Oh, okay. And for future reference, what we typically do is I usually go to about 20 or 21 after, do the first break, short segment, then the news like at about 32 or 33, short break, and then we do another one right around 4:47 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because we always make a long first segment and shorter last 3 usually.
Okay.
Yeah, I never hit the 15, but it's nice that, so now I only have to make 1 more break for the whole show, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much, or yeah?
All capacity sizes may not be available.
Pretty much, we think?
Pretty much.
Okay.
You'll I mean,
So let's do what I want.
I'm the one that that's responsible for keeping everybody on time. So I'll take it from Scott if you it's your show.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and take
We're
the lead
done with
with them.
commercials for today.
In that case, let's skip all of them.
Michael, what did you do?
Visit Demons.com.
Yeah, so
You're supposed to tell them when to go out.
yeah, we're a little mavericky. Yeah.
That's right, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like over here.
I look better with my face.
Covered? Like this? Like a carrot? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I look better
I didn't know you were going
partially concealed.
I just got him a burqa, so.
Oh, I need the mic for 1 second. This is going to be funny. That's what I was worried about.
No accumulations could be between 3 and 6 inches with
My mic 1 or mic 2? Mic 1.
That is your forecast. This is Michael Easy.
You're the only Michael.
27 in Omaha, 31 in Lincoln. Grow Omaha will return momentarily.
If you've driven by any of Anderson Convenience Market's 8 metro area locations, you
I have people handling my mic for me.
quality Amoco fuel. Look for the Amoco logo.
All right, you're back in about 2.5.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're
Are we still good with the camera and everything? We good? Okay.
Yeah.
With Amoco, you get high quality fuel prepared with the invigorating.
Oh, man.
Jeff's not on there.
Am I in your way here?
It's
kind of straggling.
It's all Trenton all the time.
So, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? On our side, we can only see me.
And on our side, it's just like
Half a
Trenton's
jab.
literally center screen.
Trenton Cam.
It's kind of like, oh, the tone starts.
TC, baby.
Oh, the tone starts. Oh, okay.
You know what you should do? One of these episodes is get the head hat cam for Trenton.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of funny.
Oh, like how sometimes referees.
Yeah.
Or they put on cats.
Yeah, we do like a point of view episode.
That's a great idea. Actually, that would be. Chris could put it in just a few edits
Yeah.
every once in
Like,
a while.
look at my phone.
And then the best idea is if you
break.
nodded off and you.
Once.
But wouldn't it be great if you hit your nose on that?
People still talk about the time you fell asleep at planning board, by the way. Oh, they still talk about it.
I know.
Like current members don't even know who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't pull a Trenton.
You like fall asleep. And then you
I had to go to
snore and
lunch.
you started snoring.
Didn't Brinker have to make an intervention call to you?
No, I had to go to lunch with Brinker and his fans left.
For an intervention.
It, like he went.
I wasn't using a CPAP.
Yeah, it was a different.
Wouldn't
It was a
happen.
different guy. Different guy.
It
It
wouldn't
was
happen.
lighter or heavier.
Yeah. They still talk about it though. Patrick Morris was there, I think. He remembers it.
How we still talk
Is he
about
still-
when you fell
is he
asleep in
playing
DC.
Oh
Yeah.
God, that was one of my all-time
Is he still
favorite
playing?
stories.
Is he still playing blue?
Fresh as a
What's his job now?
daisy.
He is at the Nebraska
Fresh as a
Philanthropic
daisy.
60
Trust.
seconds.
Nebraska Philanthropic
Okay.
Trust.
Everyone says
Sue
that
Morris,
working with a local
his mother is
company,
also
and it comes time to get
kinda
that
helped start
home
that
loan, you know,
with
just the
Walter
biggest
Scott
investment
before he
they
How's it
passed.
different
ever
than?
make, and they grab their phone and
They don't have a
flood you
board
with
to answer
ads.
to in certain
Oh,
things.
money is just
Walter?
Contact
I
Holly and
believe
her funded
that, yeah, I
professional
believe
staff
so.
right
I don't know
in
for sure.
Omaha.
So what's his role?
Eagle Mortgage for your mortgage
He's
or
a,
refinance and let them be
I mean, I guess
professional
just
lenders
part of the
on
capital
rates
raise
for
scheme.
So he's not doing real estate?
mortgage online
No.
at eaglemortgagecompany.com.
So they're
Nice
working
guy.
on the Memorial Stadium capital raise for the renovation,
Okay.
and then the Brownell Talbot capital raise for their campus expansion eventually.
Structure they expanded.
I didn't say fresh.
30
They're going to
seconds.
demolish the lower
When I woke
school
up?
Yeah, fresh as a
and then
daisy.
create and
Dude, this is pretty landlocked.
In front of
yeah, it
the
is. So
chief
that
statistician.
is the oldest.
Mayor Fahey,
That was a long day.
CEO Herrera.
Back to 15.
It's the most original structure on the property. It needs renovation. It's the same as when I went
When you were
there.
there.
And you watched
Now
me
my
do
daughter
crash
started.
We saw it coming.
Unit camera is in session. What's going to happen to our
You're pointing to
property
people
taxes? It's the Rosie Diginosy on the podcast page under Jim Rose at
Very proud of that.
KFAB.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Baggett at your service. We're joined by Brad Williams and Jorge Soto Longo. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center. Dingman's is where you want to go if you have the unfortunate incident of part of your car running into something it's not supposed to touch. If that happens, Dingman's takes very good care of you. 4 metro area locations. We know the owners personally, and we highly recommend them, and we are confident that you'll be very pleased with the service that you get from Dingman's. All right, 402-558-1110. We've had Randy holding very patiently. Randy, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Listen every Saturday morning.
Thank you.
I could turn this into 3 questions, but my main question, I'll go as fast as I can, see what you can answer. Number 1, they announced last April that they were going to make their decision in December for the next interchange across Interstate 80 by Gretna. Nothing has been said. Nothing's been done. Now they are hard surfacing the road from going east from 204th from the Gretna Water Park, which is at 212th, and they are hard surfacing 180th from 370 for a ways. Have you heard anything? Any news?
Well, I'll tell you, it depends on who you're asking, and I don't know. We haven't heard that it's been decided yet. Maybe Brad or one of these other guys have something to say, but I can tell you it looks like Hy-Vee, who built a 135,000 square foot store at 192nd and 370, they would love it to have it at 192nd and I-80. And then if you ask the outlet mall, Rod Yates, our friend over there, he'd like to have it at 204th. The current access to NEX is at 216th. A lot of people think because it's Highway 31, it's 204th because that's where it is to the north. It'll be interesting to see. What do you think, guys?
The state and the county have been pushing 192nd, but I wouldn't be shocked if eventually you don't see one at 204th and 192nd.
And as far as the paving of 180th Street south of 370, that's being brought on by the new neighborhood, the new subdivision that's being built on the south side of 370. So that's not a sign of anything to come.
Okay.
Okay.
Randy, did you say you have another one?
What
okay.
about?
Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
You announced on Grow Omaha what's happening on 156th and Schramm. You said there was development or another industrial site coming in.
156th and Schramm is the Google.
That's probably Commerce Business Park South by R&R.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
Schramm, and then 1 mile to the south is
Capehart.
So I was involved. Brian Hartman and I, we sold 156, the 80 acres there, which will act as the enlargement of Commerce Business Park South, where you already see a bunch of buildings. And then immediately to the west of there's dirt moving and stuff like that. That's Hubble has an industrial park that they're working on as well. So I'd imagine more industrial there.
And Commerce Park South, I mentioned, is R&R Realty. And what's your third one?
And the third one is I heard that all the Gretna city offices are going to move south across Capehart into that square mile area from the Gretna Water Park.
I have heard that the city offices might move there as well, but I'm not sure how much of that has been publicly announced, but have been hearing the same thing. Okay, Randy, we appreciate the questions and for you hanging on with us. Thanks so much. And now we're going to get to Doug, who has also been waiting a long time. Good morning, Doug, and welcome.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Actually, kind of ironic here because here I am walking through the aisle of the Sam's Club, asking you, is Costco ever going to build over here in Council Bluffs?
There's been a lot of talk about Costco possibly going into the Manawa Power Center. To the best of my knowledge, nothing like that has ever been announced or confirmed. And some of that, frankly, are just rumors that float around in the development community. I think some rumors have floated around those Costco shopper fan website, social media outlets and all that sort of thing.
Well, being that Menards since Menards is moving to the old Mall of the Bluff site, that opens up a big chunk there with some pad sites in front. It's in capable developers' hands.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want to go check out one of the best Menards around, go check out that one over there because the place is awesome.
It's open. It's open now.
Oh yeah, it's been open for a while, and it's in the site of the former Mall of the Bluffs, right there at Interstate 80 and Madison Avenue.
Right next to Casey's, I sold land to Tommy's Express. They'll have a state-of-the-art car wash right there as well.
All righty. Well, Doug, we appreciate you calling and for you waiting. And now we're going to go to Craig. Craig, you're next on Grow Omaha. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning. Congratulations to Grow Omaha for your anniversary. Fantastic.
We're registered at Menards, Home Depot, and Lowe's.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no worries. And I love the newsletter, too, by the way. I get it every week.
That's all, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right. One, if you're hearing me okay, a question I got back out here in Gretna again. Envision Cornhusker Road, 204th Street, okay? Highway 6, and you're going to head east on Cornhusker Road, head towards 192nd. There's that terrible railroad bridge. I want to inform you guys that they took down the road closed temporary signs, and they put up permanent a dead end, yellow dead end signs. Okay? And I talked to a neighbor, and it sounds like they're not going to do anything with that bridge, and it's going to be a dead end there now on what could be a popular road for a long time. Do you guys know anything more about it, please?
We do not, but I'd tell you, I have a hard time imagining that would be long-term permanent. My guess is it would be like that for a while. I'm just speaking out of opinion right now, because with all of the growth in that area and all of the growth that's to come, I can't imagine they wouldn't need that connectivity there. My guess is the bridge that you're talking about, most of our listeners have no idea what this is like, but it is extremely primitive, something that looks like it's out of a third world country, and really, really narrow. My guess is it's gonna wait until it's absolutely necessary. Brad, do you have a thought on that?
Well, and a lot of times when those roads make their initial improvements from gravel to like a 3-lane paved road, a lot of times the neighborhoods, the subdivisions that are built on either side of that kick in money. So it could be closed until that area gets developed. Those neighborhoods kick in some money to help pay for the road, and then at that time, the state or the city or whoever will probably work on kicking in money for the bridge.
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining it being closed for more than just a few years.
That's called off-site improvements.
There you go. Good development term there, Trenton. All right. Okay. So, Craig, does that answer the question? We don't know details, but that's probably our best stab at it.
Yeah, thanks for your best stab at it, and I just want to let you guys know what's happening out here, too. Thanks so much for your great show.
Okay. Thank you, Craig, so much. And we appreciate the kind words, and we appreciate you mentioning the newsletter. For those of you who don't get the newsletter, simply go to growomaha.com, click on Market Report. You can read all of them there, or you can sign up for it as well. Comes out every Thursday afternoon. So, Jorge, I wanted to mention, before we take our final break of the hour, we had that planning board meeting, and you are on the planning board, as we discussed earlier. Anything else from the agenda this week that jumped out at you besides the aforementioned retail project that we suspect is Sam's Club on West Maple?
We did see some TIF applications get approved, and multiple TIF applications for mixed-use downtown infill developments. One of them in Millwork Commons, another one at 19th and Farnham, and market rate and affordable, actually, so a good mix of those two. I do know for a fact that we've had NIFA approvals for my friend and client Neeraj Agarwal down in the Flatiron District for 2 more projects that are mixed use with affordable apartments up top. So that's going to add some much-needed commercial space and residents to the Flatiron District, which I think is progressing nicely, albeit somewhat slowly, but it's really getting there, and it's got some of the most beautiful buildings in downtown. So I'm reinvigorated to see a full agenda again this month. We had about 34 cases, and we had some downtown infill stuff, TIF cases that I wasn't necessarily seeing at the end of the year. Last year, I think it had slowed a little bit.
A little bit of slowdown the last quarter.
Yes, but I think where we had 10 to 14 cases at the end of the year, we had about 30 this time. So.
Okay, so that's a good sign. Yeah, very good. Well, before we take our final break, we do have our commercial real estate development spotlight of the week, and it is brought to you by Noddle Companies. A lot of you are familiar with Noddle Companies, and you should be, because it's the premier real estate development firm in the metro area. They don't just do business in the metro area. They have stuff all over the country. But here in Omaha, Exarban Village, Rivers Edge, the Builders District, Steel Ridge and Papillion, the Village Point West Medical Campus, many corporate headquarters buildings over the years like HDR and Valmont are Noddle Companies projects. And they're really proud of the spaces and places they make. A lot of Noddle projects end up being special places where people kind of hang out and live their lives. And the Builders District in North Downtown is certainly one of those. And we got a couple of quick updates about the Builders District. If you go and drive drive on 16th Street, just south of Cumming. On the west side, you'll see a lot of grading going on there, and that is where Noddle Companies is putting in an outdoor public mini park. It's going to be amenity heavy. It'll be pretty analogous to those outdoor amenities that are in Exarban Village, where Sonny's bar in the Airstream is, and they've got the beanbag tossing area and the dog park. They're going to put some of that stuff right there, and the grading and the dirt work is coming along really nicely. And in that same area, 1501 Mike Fahey Street, just south of the Kiewit Global Headquarters, that mass timber building that we've talked about is really cool, and most of it is enclosed right now, and it's got a very nice presence on the street. And you can also, when you look in the windows on the north side, you can see the beautiful timbers.
Yeah, and you'll see both of those projects on the next Grow Omaha construction update, which hopefully will be out real soon.
And that is your commercial real estate development spotlight of the week, brought to you by Noddle Companies. You can find out more by going to the Noddle Companies Facebook page or noddlecompanies.com. Going to take our final break of the hour, and when we come back, it'll be the Turner Construction Lightning Round. I'm looking at the list, and there's quite a few things on here that we're going to be talking about, so don't go anywhere. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center. Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, Brad Williams, and Jorge Sotolongo will be back after this on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
That was smooth. That was good. All right. Back in 2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you kindly, sir.
Yep. And I will go ahead and play your outro at like 56:30.
56:30 is when it starts?
Yeah.
Some life into your environment. Look no further than Rents. The local company
I think the Noddle, Kiewit, Creighton, it's almost like a collaboration at this point.
It's a Noddle, Kiewit, Creighton axis.
Yeah, it's like...
And White Lotus gets going over there, too.
I think Builders District has got such potential. I mean, it's not even... It's obvious now.
Well, and there's the rumor about...
Have we talked about the grocery at all?
Well,
on the show? I mean, I don't know.
We haven't talked about it because it's at this point, it's just a rumor.
It's just a rumor. We haven't even said the rumor, said the name on air or anything like that.
No, we've not.
Probably wouldn't... Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's just so early, but it's...
What's the rumor?
Trader Joe's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we can't guarantee it for all of you watching Uncut. It's just a rumor floating around, but there's a rumor that Trader Joe's is going to North Downtown. I don't know if it's Civic Side or if it's Builders.
Not Civic Side. We're talking Builders.
17th and Cumming.
I think it's Builders.
Yeah.
And I think I know exactly where it's at. There's some ball fields and things down there.
Is it going to be between 16th and 17th, immediately south of Cumming, right by this park we're talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little bit more west than that. Maybe more like 18th or something.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm not quite sure, but as far as I know, I mean, it sounds like I think Noddle's the one driving. They're the ones that got there.
So Noddle said nothing about it to us. It's just
I have no idea.
rumors
It could
that we
be
keep
exactly.
hearing.
So I could be just wrong about that. Again, I think the whispers that I'm hearing are coming more from the Creighton side than they are from anyone else.
Well, we keep hearing rumors from multiple sources, and so, but not Noddle.
But that would be huge, and we've had some multifamily sales down in the area. I think it's only going to bolster any sort of apartment deals down there.
I'm telling you, I'll never forget.
15 seconds.
In the 90s, they opened a full-service grocery store in downtown San Diego, and like
Bumper 10?
within days, it seemed like residential high-rises were going up around it. You have a place for people to eat.
Back in 10.
When I walked into the Creighton basketball game the other night, the girls' game, they were just scooping the last scoop out of the Mystery Manor site.
Really?
Yeah.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid at your service, and we're joined today by Brad Williams of Brad Williams Photography and E&A Consulting, along with Jorge Sotolongo, broker at NAI NP Dodge and member of the Omaha City Planning Board. Show's brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Turner Construction. We mentioned Turner because it's time for the lightning round, the moment you've all been waiting for. The lightning round is when we talk about a lot of things in a short period of time. Thank you to Turner for making this possible. If you want to know more about Turner, I got the goods on them. It's a big, powerful, deep, resourced company that is extremely customer service oriented and committed to the Omaha community. When you use Turner as your contractor, you're getting deep resources, a bench full of talent, and people who have been working in the Omaha community for a long time, who love Omaha, and they know it on a personal basis. Big projects like the Sarpy County Data Center and all of these massive construction projects at Offutt Air Force Base, they're no problem for Turner. Little projects, do them all day long. Whether it's renovating an office space, building out space in a retail strip center. They do everything from the very big to the very small and everything in between, and you won't find a better contractor with better people. Turner Construction, sponsor of the Lightning Round. Well, guys, we've got some kind of big restaurant news this week, and the first one is Izzy's Pizza Bus. This is a food truck that really operates out of a bus that moved to Omaha from Las Vegas. Very, very popular out there. It's come here. Very, very popular. Everyone loves this Izzy's Pizza Bus. And now they have announced they're going to have a bricks and mortar location opening in May in a space at 522 South 24th Street, so kind of on the southwest corner of downtown. It's currently occupied by Felius Cat Cafe. That business is moving to a different space. Izzy's, like I say, will open in May. My guess is that bricks and mortar place will be very busy and very popular.
Yeah, I think the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives episode did them well.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting about some of these restaurants that, like when Coneflower did a second location at Millwork Commons, and now Izzy's going to South 24th Street, restaurants aren't afraid, either that or they plan on cornering the market rather than just putting one in the middle and then letting everybody come there. So I think it's kind of strategic because the people out west can't wait for Coneflower.
There's also a really nice brand new apartment building going up across the street from the new Izzy's location.
Yeah, that's a new style development. It's turned out really, really great.
Oh, great.
That is a real cool project.
Ground up, underground, not underground, sorry, garage parking underneath. Really nice. Yeah.
And it's like, I think it's all together about 6 stories on the north side.
Also on the next construction video.
which we
YouTube.
Eagerly anticipate.
Brad Williams construction video on the Grow Omaha YouTube page.
Or just growomaha.com would do the trick as well. Signage is now in place at the former Starbucks location in Countryside Village near 87th and Pacific Street. And that signage is for Saddle Creek Breakfast Club. They're moving from their original location appropriately on Saddle Creek, 1540 North Saddle Creek to be exact, in mid-February. People are excited about having a little more space to go have breakfast at Saddle Creek Breakfast Club.
Speaking of Countryside, real quick, Moots had a break-in in Countryside. Their point-of-sale system got stolen. I just want to tell people so they go get some pizza from them. They have an amazing pizza there, right there in Countryside Village. Try to help them out a little bit.
Did the thieves get a lot of dough?
Yeah, I guess so.
Love Moots. Great product there. Okay, Charred Burger and Bar, which has a location in the Sterling Ridge development, southeast of 132nd and Pacific, plans to open a second location this year in La Vista near Cabela's in the Southport development. We don't know the exact site. We've kind of just pieced this together. It's not been publicly announced, but it could be in this new strip center there that has Dirty Dough and Jersey Mike's and a couple other businesses.
Starbucks. It's the end cap with outdoor seating, and right when you pull into Cabela's off Giles Road to your right.
Veg Edible has opened in Benson in the former Jane's Market space. Fast casual takeout eatery and bakery that is 100% vegan, gluten-free, and nut-free, and has soy-free options.
I think there'll be plenty of nuts there.
Plenty of nuts. Plenty of nuts. Use, as someone once said about Trenton, we all think it, he just says it out loud. Dolomiti Pizzeria in Enoteca has officially opened inside the Ashton building in Millwork Commons, exact address 1125 North 13th Street. Early returns, very, very positive. Brad, you had dinner last night at Sandpoint, new restaurant in Miracle Hills, newish restaurant.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. I had a lobster roll, and then a few other lobster entrees, and it was a really good time.
Trenton, you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah, I really like it. Good fish sandwiches.
New England style food, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sign me up. Skin Experts will hold a ribbon cutting January 16th for a new location in Shadow Lake Town Center in Papillion. And Skin Experts, quote, combines revolutionary technology from Europe and Asia with carefully curated ingredients that work to make you look better and younger. Sign me up. Spotlight Bridal also in having a ribbon cutting. This one January 19th for a new boutique in the Granary. The Granary is that really cool building in downtown Ralston. It's where they have that green space where they have the outdoor screen. Like sometimes they show sporting events and all of those sorts of things. Unfortunately, Green Beans Coffee is closing its Bellevue location. Good news, though, the West Omaha location at 167th and Harrison Street will remain open. You guys, so many retail and restaurant stuff for us to talk about. It's kind of hard to keep up with.
Really keeping its occupancy up.
Yeah, in fact, it's funny that you should say that because a big story in the newsletter this week is the commercial real estate market. And looks like retail vacancy at the end of 2023, only 4.7%. That's pretty darn healthy.
That's amazing. Yeah, we've seen leasing stay consistent in retail.
Yeah, the 65 million square feet that we track.
All right, music's playing, which means that we're done. Jorge Sotolongo, good to have you back.
Thank you, everybody.
From NAINP Dodge. Brad Williams.
Hey, it's been great here again, and congratulations again on 20 years.
Thanks for everything you've done to help us, Brad. All right, I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Turner Construction. We'll chat with you next week at 9 o'clock right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
We're clear.
It's a wrap. Greatest customer, Trenton Magid.
Yeah.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.